results economy. I'd love to get your perspective on what is an entrepreneur. Where did, you know the origination of the term entrepreneur from John Baptiste Say and all that. I'd love to have you speak to what is an entrepreneur. What do they actually do?
Yeah, well, it's really interesting because this is my life, and I personally coach 6,000 entrepreneurs, 60 different industries all over the world, from youngest around age 22, the oldest is now 83, and so men, women, shy, loud, outrageous, all of them ADD, sort of. Anyway, what was I saying?
Squirrels.
So anyway, but the original definition, and this is the earliest definition we have, is 1804, and an entrepreneur is someone who takes resources from a lower level of productivity to a higher level of productivity. And that's it. So what kind of resource? Any kind of resource. So anybody who takes a resource from here to here through whatever means is an entrepreneur. A bureaucrat is someone who takes a resource from a higher level of productivity to a lower level of productivity. So in order to have a lot of entrepreneurs, you have to have a lot of bureaucrats. Anyway, but the essential is that you make things more valuable, you make things more useful, you make things faster, you make things easier, you make things cheaper, you make things bigger. Okay, so that's really the whole essence of an entrepreneur. But the number one thing you have to do is that every entrepreneur, for the most part, like all the people that I have, when they come into the program, they're already successful by the standards of the world. But the vast majority of them got there because they were great salespeople. It's actually the fact that they were a great salesperson that gave them the confidence to go out and be an entrepreneur in the first place. They knew if they were in front of somebody, they could actually get a check. And not everybody can do that. That's not given to everybody, that they have the confidence and the ability to actually be in front of someone and get that person to write them a check. It's actually quite a fairly small percentage of the human race that actually has the confidence and the ability to actually do that. But what it requires is your presence. So you're limited that unless you can actually be present in front of people to actually sell, then you will become successful. You can become a very good salesperson. You can make a lot of money with sales, but you're limited because you can't multiply yourself. And what the equation is that allows you to multiply yourself is marketing. Okay? Because marketing is everything that happens that doesn't require your presence, but is still making a sale. Okay, and so that's the real distinction here. So a lot of the, the entrepreneurs that I have in the program make well over $1 million, $2 million, $3 million personal income, but they're still trapped because there isn't any. They are the brand, and there's nothing bigger than them. There's nothing that actually is bigger than them. So when they're not there, nothing happens. And what they're seeing now, because of the amazing breakthroughs in technology and what we can do to get the message out to the world night and day to many, many strangers, and preconditioning the marketplace to be very favorably disposed towards your value creation proposition, your message. We have this amazing explosion now of marketing capability, so that a single individual with a bright idea and just a desire to create some sort of result out in the world can actually, with a very small company, actually become a very, very large marketing entity out in the marketplace. These are two guys who get on the phone, and basically they've created a worldwide movement called I Love Marketing. Well, you couldn't do that 20 years ago. You couldn't do it 10 years ago. The technological means were not there to multiply themselves. So you're hitting this. I notice that a lot of you are not as old as I am. And the beautiful thing about this age right now is that you're hitting the sweet spot in history right now for individuals being able to multiply themselves. But you have to have an intellectual structure for doing it. You can't just go out there willy-nilly. There has to be a process. There has to be a structure. So that's really what I'm seeing now, and that's all pure entrepreneurism, what we're talking about here. And I'm quite a student of history, and a lot of people who know me know that I really love history, and I draw tremendous lessons from history. But what I feel right now in the United States, I live in Canada, by the way. I'm from the States, but I live in Canada. I've lived there for 40 years with Babs. And it's actually interesting living in another country for more than half your life. That isn't too far away from the United States, because you get to appreciate that the United States is really crazy. You know, it's really a crazy country, you know what I mean? And what I mean by that is that the